Okay, so now we're going to talk about your avatar, and this is some of the most important, most powerful work you're going to do, certainly within this module and probably within the entire product launch formula. So your avatar is a composite representation of your ideal client. So who is your average client? And sometimes you might have more than one avatar. For example, in product launch formula, I have more than one avatar. I have people that already have an existing business, an existing online business, and they want to leverage it. They want to get better results. Then I also have people that want to start an online business and they're just starting out. And those are two very, very different avatars. And I've got more avatars. I've got artists and I've got authors. I've got practitioners, people who have offline businesses that want to move it online. So I've got several different avatars. So you're probably going to, if you have more than one avatar, and you probably do, you might want to do this for this exercise we're about to go through for each avatar. But this is really, really powerful stuff. And this concept of this, who you're trying to, being really clear on who you're trying to reach, is super important. So it can be really helpful to actually think of your avatar as a real person. I know some people actually give them, they give them a real name and they talk about them as if they're a specific person. And that can be really powerful because you do, in your marketing, you always want to be talking to one person. You don't want to be writing to your list or recording videos thinking that you've got this, I'm writing this email to 6,000 people that are on my list. No, you're writing that email for 6,000 individual people who are going to go check their email. Real individual people are going to open up their email program and they are going to see your email in their inbox, a very, very private place for them, and they're going to read it, and they're going to be reading it to see if you connect with them. Same thing when people watch your video. You might be putting it out on YouTube or using a pre-launch video, and lots of people are going to see it, but individuals are going to see that. Never forget that you're writing to one person. We have, a lot of times people talk about, I'm going to send out a blast. I'm going to blast my list. I'm going to send a blast to my list. And they're basically talking about email broadcasts, and they'll use that word blast. And I know some people just use it, and that's fine. But we have a rule in my company, in my business, for my team. We can't use that word blast. We do not blast the people on our list because, do you like to get blasted? So, this is just sort of, mindset kind of stuff, but you never want to blast your list. You're sending emails to your subscribers, to your individual subscribers. It's all about connecting with your prospects and clients. That's what PLF is all about, really. At the end of the day, it's about connecting with your prospects and your clients. And the first step in connecting with them is to understand who they are, and that's what this whole process is about. I'm going to go through this quickly, but this is not a process that you should go through quickly. You should spend some real time walking through this process. So this is how you connect with your avatar. I've got a set of questions for you that's going to give you some real insights, and that insight will help you create your offer. It'll be the fuel for your launch. It'll help you create every piece of contact you have with them, whether it's an email or a blog post or a video or whatever. You need to picture who your avatar is. You have to get a real clear picture of them in your mind's eye. So I'm going to move through these questions real quickly, but I want you to circle back. I want you to actually work on these, because I'm not going to sit here and record an hour-long video and give you 10 minutes to write down each question. I'm just going to walk through them for you. So thinking about your avatar, your ideal client, who you want to reach, the person you want to be a hero to. What is their biggest source of pain? What keeps them awake at night? So just sit there and drop down, and you can pause the video right now. Think about that. What's their biggest source of pain? What do they worry about when they lie awake at night? Next up is what scares your avatar. And this can be a little different. If we go back, source of pain, what scares them, could be very, very similar, but they could be different. So what scares your avatar? And then what's the biggest danger that they don't even see yet? You probably have a greater insight into what their path, what their journey is, what the transformation in their life is going to be. And maybe they've got something coming. They don't even know about that danger yet. Okay, next, what are your avatar's greatest opportunities? what's out there for them, what awaits for them. I think about PLF and your opportunities for you ahead of you, and you might think, okay, I just want to knock out this launch, and I want to focus on that, and I want to focus on you having that launch, but then I can just look into your future, because I've already been there. I started out, and I just look at my journey, and I know that my journey is your journey, and I can think about the amazing things, not just in your first launch, but the launch after that, and the launch after that, and the business that comes out of that, and then the next business, and the connections you're going to have. And so I can just think about these amazing opportunities that you don't even know about yet. So when you think about your avatar, what are the opportunities they don't even know about yet that are just going to show up? People don't even know about the launch echo when they first hear about product launch formula, but I know about that launch echo. I know about the positioning that's ahead of them. So I want you to do the same thing. I want you to think going forward, what are their opportunities? So go ahead, you can pause the video now and write that down, or you can watch the whole video and then circle back through all these questions. What are your avatar's hopes and dreams? Who or what do they aspire to be? What's just a huge dream for them? So as you work through these questions and spend some time, you're going to get really clear on who your avatar is, and that's going to allow you to connect with them through everything you do, through your video, through your copy, through your blog posts, through your emails. And it's just, I can't even tell you how powerful this is. This is what I've built my entire business on, being able to truly connect with people. And this right here is the secret. It's the basic ingredients of how you connect with your prospects and your clients. Okay, now I want to go a little bit deeper into your avatar. So for this next set of questions, I want you to think about your greatest case study now or in the future. So in other words, who is just the perfect case study for you? And if they don't exist for you, then imagine that case study. Who are they going to be? For me, I've got lots and lots of them. I've mentioned John Gallagher already. He's a fantastic, the guy was on food stamps, and now he's got this sizable business. It used to be food stamps to 6 figures. Now it's beyond that. And, he's got a team. He's making a huge contribution to the world. Got a great business. So he's a great case study. But I've got a whole bunch of them. But for this, I want you to think about your greatest case study. Someone you've already worked with, someone who's gotten great results, or someone you're going to have in the future if you haven't started out yet. If you're just starting your business, who's that case study going to be? So make a fictional case study. But I need you to go there, to think about this person, to really, it will really help you in this exercise going forward. So remember, when you're selling something, it's about the transformation in their life. It's about the change in their life. It's about the before and after, like before they got your product and after. For me, John Gallagher, before he got my product, he was on food stamps. He had 2 young kids. He was not volunteering. He was working at a nonprofit. He was going to school to become an acupuncturist, trying to raise these kids. Him and his wife Kimberly, and it was crazy busy. They're on food stamps, couldn't make ends meet, and now he's got this business. He gets to do exactly what he wants all the time. He's gotten to move to exactly where he wants to move to. His kids go to the schools he wants them to go to. He's actually in my platinum program, so he's joined my high-end coaching program. He gets to hang out with me. I've actually gone and stayed at his house, in his guest house. I stayed in his guest house. He's had this amazing transformation. I can just think about that transformation. But it's not when he bought Product Launch Formula from me, he got a bunch of, back in those days, it was CDs and DVDs. So he got CDs and DVDs and books from me. So when he got PLF, he didn't get a book. He got the transformation of his life changing. And no matter what you're selling, no matter what you're going to launch, you're selling transformation as well. You could be transforming how they play the guitar, or how they meditate, or how they relate to their children. It's the transformation. You're not selling an online training course, or a webinar, or an in-person seminar, or a book, or a widget. You're selling how that's going to change their life. What is the transformation going to be? So I need you to focus on that as we move through this. So we're going to talk now about the transformation and the results that they're going to get in their life. They being your avatar. We just did this work on sort of figuring out who your avatar is. Now we're going to focus on how you're going to transform their life. So how has your product positively impacted their life? That's if you've got a current case study. If you're working with this future case study, it's how is it going to positively impact their life? How is their life different now because of your product? What is the transformation in their life because of your product? And not just now, but look into the future. Because, John Gallagher, he started that business. 10 years from now, he's still going to have that business. It's going to be way bigger. It's going to be that much more impactful. He's going to be able to have helped that many more people. Maybe his kids are working in his business. So look into the future. We're talking about how you're going to transform their lives. If all of a sudden you've taught them how to have a home yoga practice, okay, well, their body feels better now. But 20 years from now, how is their body going to be different and their life going to be different 20 years from now compared to what it is now? You're changing the future for your people. And you really want to get focused on that, because this is going to help you as you move forward with everything you do. So look into their future, a year from now, 5 years from 10 years from now, and be as specific and concrete as possible. When I just talked about the changes in John Gallagher's life, from food stamps to now, like I said, he lives in the town he wants to live in, the house he wants to live in. He's got a guest house. His kids go to the schools that he wants them to go to. He gets to join my high-end coaching program. He gets to work with top experts in his field. All those things are very specific and very, very concrete. Okay, next, this is sort of the flip side. What will it cost your avatar to not have your product? What's the extra pain and frustration in their life? How much money have they given up or have they lost? What will they miss out on? And again, for all these, look into their future, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Again, going back to John Gallagher, if you didn't have my product, well, he had had a bunch of board games made up. He'd spent like $20,000. He borrowed $20,000, I think it was, around a huge amount of money. He borrowed from his dad to get these board games made up. Had the board games made up, and he tried to launch it without, just on his own. Sold 12 of them. So he had literally pallets, boxes of these, filling up his entire house and his garage. And if he never sold those, how soul crushing would that be if, 6 or 8 years later, he still got all that inventory sitting there, thinking he borrowed all this money. It's just be this huge albatross around his neck. He wouldn't even be able to move forward. Think about that pain. Seeing those boxes in his house every day, year after year, that he had this dream, and he borrowed all this money for this dream, and it just was an utter failure. Instead he's sold all those games and ordered more and ordered more and ordered more, and now sold 50,000 of those games. But he would have missed out on all of that. Instead, he just have this pain and frustration of this dream that didn't come to pass, that was mocking him, laughing at him. Think about that pain and frustration for your avatar if they don't change their life based on what you're going to do for them. Again, look forward into their future. A year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And again, be as specific and concrete as possible. And now, who will your avatar become as a result of the positive impact of your product? So, how have they transformed? John has become this amazing leader. He's become almost like a guru in his market. He's become like the go-to person for other gurus to launch their products. He has become the pivotal person. When he goes to a convention about edible and medicinal plants and herbs, about foraging, when he goes to a convention, everyone they know who he is. He walks through the convention and people are walking up to him and talking to them, telling him about how his products have helped them. So think about, who do they become? Do they become a better parent? Do they become a better, brother or sister? They become a better friend? They become a pillar of their society? Look into their future. And again, be as specific and concrete as you can. And when you do this work, when you go through this, and I've gone through it very quickly, and I can talk about it, eloquently or somewhat eloquently, because I've been doing this work for years, thinking about this for years, and I've been working with people for years and seeing the transformation. So, but it will take you a little bit longer to work through this. But this is really important work, and this will, as you move through your launch, it will be so powerful for you to be able to talk about this, to be able to bring this into your launch. So don't skip through this. Actually do this work and identify the impact, the transformation you're going to have on your avatar. Finally, as you look at this video and the prior video and you do all that work, think about it. What did you just learn about your avatar? If you've gone through this work, you now know more about your avatar and you have a greater capability of marketing than almost anyone out there. It's just, this is incredibly powerful work. So don't skip it. Be sure you go through and you answer these questions and then revisit them over time, because it'll change. You'll learn more about your avatar and you'll be able to go deeper. And you'll be able to do it, like I said, you very well might have more than one avatar, so you'll want to work through this for each of your avatars.